right now we're going to say thank you, and we're going to open it up to Patrick Smith of SR Smith, who's been hanging out with us for a little while incognito. So he's going to come on in and talk to us about a bunch of their different offerings. So Gus and Jeff, thank you. Jeff, you're welcome to stay if you want, but you already left. Gus, you too. Patrick, are you there with me, buddy? There you are. All right, great. So everybody, this is Patrick Smith of SR Smith. He's going to talk with us about, did you have a specific product in mind, or are you going to talk about the line, or I'm just going to turn it over to you, Patrick. How's that?
Great, sounds good.
All right.
I've got a few different things that I wanted to talk about today. Definitely not the entire line. We could be here for quite a while if we talked about the entire SR Smith line. We've grown quite a bit over the last several years. I've been with the SR Smith for 14 years now. I'm the director of sales for the Western U.S. So we have a director that manages the Eastern U.S. That's Keith Monk, who was with Interfab before we acquired Interfab. So I've got a PowerPoint. We're not a Zoom company, so
that's okay.
Exactly sure how to.
If you're on with me, if you see at the bottom where it says share screen, you should have a green arrow. If you just click on that, find your PowerPoint, open it up, you should be good to go. While you're searching for that, I will tell everybody, among the many wonderful SR Smith products that they do have, if you are ever at a trade show and you happen to see the SR Smith booth after you've been walking the show for a little bit, there is not a booth with more padding under the carpet ever. You do have the softest carpets, for real, but a fantastic product line. So you're up and running, so I'm just going to let you go.
I actually have to step out of that booth after a while because it's almost too much padding. That hurts my back. So wanted to go over a few of the things that are a bit newer for SR Smith. The first one is our Destination Series in-pool furniture designs. We have a few different things in the line. First, number one is they're both residential and commercial. If you're familiar with our slides that we do in the build your own slides, it's the same material. It's called an RTM composite. The nice thing on that is it has great protection against UV. It's not going to fade. It's just going to stay the same color all the way through because that color actually goes all the way through. It is compatible with vinyl, fiberglass, and gunite as well. And then we have 9 different colors. They're all made here in the USA in Tucson, Arizona. So the first one we have is the newest is on the left here is our Destination Series lounge chair. It's more of an upright chair. You can see the 9 colors there. It's a bit of a rocker, so you can actually rock in the chair. And then one of the nice features about this chair is that it self-fills and self-drains. You don't have to fill this lounger up to keep it down in the water. You just simply put it in the water, push down, and it fills up with water. And then when you're ready to take it out, you just lift it and it starts emptying right away. When it's empty, it's only about 25 pounds. So it's pretty lightweight, but it's extremely heavy duty. The other is on the right here is our newest introduction. It's the Rotomolded Lounger. And it comes in 5 different colors, 2 to match our Turbo Twister Typhoon lines, the sandstone and the gray granite. And we have the white as shown here, the taupe and the gray. It's also about 25 pounds when it's empty, and it also has the same self-fill and self-drain features that the Destination Series does. So when you put it in the water, it starts to fill up, and then you take it out and it starts to drain. For folks that have auto covers, this is a really big deal because when you want to put your cover back on, it's difficult to move some chairs that are super heavy, and so it makes it a lot easier to take these chairs in and out of the pool as you need to. So then continuing in the Destination Series, we also have the tables and stools, and then as you can see here in the kind of the middle picture, the person's holding the gray, looks like almost like a billy club. That is our adapter. So if for folks that have already installed an umbrella anchor into the pool, our tables use the 1.9-inch rail material that we use on our handrails. So it's a little bit big to go in the umbrella anchors. So we have this adapter that slides into the umbrella anchor, and then the table slides over the adapter. And then the tables have holes in the middle so that you can slide your umbrella through. So as you can see on the left picture, You've got the 2 stools down in the pool. You've got the 30-inch table with the umbrella going right through. So if you're installing these fresh on a new construction, you can always order them with our anchors. We have a 6-inch anchor that's 1.9 that they'll fit down into. And you can see these are just some of our colors. This isn't the full line of covers. We have the Pebble and the Cappuccino that look really nice with the lighter pools out there, and then the Starry Night and Passion Gray look really nice as well. So different sizes we have in the tables. We have a 16-inch and a 30, and then the round seats are 16 inches. And then the tables also have optional cup holders. They call them cup holders. I call them, cup spaces more or less. They're not anything that's too far recessed into it. Easily removed. That's one of the nice things that people like about these is if you have an automatic cleaner in the pool, you can pull these out and the automatic cleaner is not going to get wrapped around the stools. So this is one of our other introductions. And with this being somewhat of a service-oriented group, I wanted to make sure that I highlighted products that we feel are great service-oriented products. The furniture is a very easy aftermarket sell for service companies. And this new slide here called the Slide Away is another one of those aftermarket items. This is basically, it's a portable slide, and it's as easy as it says here, roll, set, and fill. So as you can see, we have Nancy up in the top left picture here. She's rolling it out with the included dolly, and then she sets it on the pool side and then fills up the base with water. You can see the line there where you fill it up to, and then you hook a hose up to it, and the kids are good to go. And we've seen people hooking just fresh garden hoses. We've seen them hook up little pumps to it as well. So that they're recirculating water from the pool. It's a very simple sell. It just fits in the back of the truck. You drop it off at the homeowner and they can set it up themselves. There's no installation.
I want one. Seriously.
They're pretty cool.
We're gonna have to talk after this. That does look pretty cool. I have a pool. I have grandchildren. I don't have a slide, so we're gonna chat about this afterwards because I want one. So
awesome. Well, that was my first opportunity to talk to somebody about it when it came out. Was a friend of mine that lives here, not too far from me, and he had actually asked me to come look at his heater. And so I went over to see why his heater wasn't operating, and then I backwashed his filter and got his heater working again. And then I noticed he had a little tyke slide that was about 18 inches, 2 foot off the ground, and I asked him about
yellow and red one.
Yeah, yeah. And so I showed him the brochure we had on this, and he said he wanted it. And I drive by his house almost every day and can see into his backyard. And he's a grandparent with about 23 grandkids, and he leaves it out there all the time for them. So
well, I like the idea of a slide when the grandkids are over, and I don't like the idea of a permanent install. So that's the reason why I don't have one. But this looks like it'll meet that need, and that's a selling factor because a lot of folks don't want something on the deck all the time. So that's huge, and definitely something that I'm interested in. Jeff, what do you think? Could you sell this?
I kind of totally echo what Rudy just said. I want one. And I just actually sold a slide not that long ago. I think the guy would have been better suited with this slide than the Rogue that he got. But he's an engineer. He wanted a Rogue. He got a Rogue.
Yeah,
sell them what they want.
It's going to be challenging to deal with.
Now, Patrick, you made your day. 2 cells on that slide. You're good to go.
There you go. So one other thing I want to point out to us at SR Smith is extremely important is that it's Consumer Product Safety Commission compliant. It does meet all the standards of the Consumer Product Safety Commission. So all of our slides meet that standard. We have them all independently verified to make sure they meet that standard, and this one does too. So it's a great little product.
Hey, Patrick.
Yeah.
On that slide really quick, what would you say to somebody that doesn't install slides? Maybe let's assume that you're a licensed contractor and that you have the ability to do that and insurances, which is a little bit different for slides, but can you just maybe speak to somebody that doesn't do that or hasn't done that before, and dangers and ways to make that happen?
Sure. So on this particular slide, the nice thing about it is it's just there's no installation, and so you're selling it, you're dropping it off at the homeowner. the liability is a lot less on this where you're not doing the installation. It's when you do a permanent installation where you have a little bit more liability, and making sure that you're placing it in the right spot so that you are in deep enough water, that you have it angled correctly, that you have it set over the deck far enough past the coping so that nobody's hitting their head, things like that. One of the things that we've done at SR Smith is we've created our Peace of Mind program for the builders, and it's for licensed contractors that are out there that need to have that extra peace of mind that we're going to back them up. And it adds $1 million liability policy to their insurance, basically, is what it does. So every slide package that we ship out, and it has that Peace of Mind program in there. It has some documents that they fill out. The homeowner signs off on it, that they've received some certain instruction on how to safely slide, and that the slide was properly installed, and the homeowner signs off on that, and then they send that paperwork into us, and it gives them that extra liability protection. So, and then of course we have our field reps throughout the country that they're always able to go out and help builders, and do some tutorials teaching them how to properly measure for pools to make sure they're safe for slides. Most pools are safe for slides, and it's just the very small ones that you run into an issue. But we can always help them with placement and things like that. So, does that answer your question?
Yeah, completely.
Okay.
I'm somewhat familiar with it, although we don't do a lot, but for those that haven't really experienced that, that was good information. Thank you.
The Peace of Mind program is probably one of the most underutilized programs that we have. A lot of our builders that have been installing slides, we go out and talk to them about it, and they don't even they don't realize it's in the paperwork there, and it is. So we'd love to see more people taking advantage of it. So I want to shift gears into lighting. As folks probably know, we bought Fiber Stars several years ago. I can't even keep track now as to when it was. I want to say it was probably 5, 6, 7 years ago that we bought Fiber Stars, and we've been working on the portfolio. We've some of the things have gone away. A lot of the fiber optic stuff that Fiber Stars has gone away. We've really been focusing on upgrading the LED products that we have. So I want to try to do something here. The reason why there's a blank screen, I want to show this quick video. It's about a minute. Do I need to, can y'all see the light there in the screen, or do I need to change what I'm sharing?
We can see the screen, your PowerPoint screen, yeah.
You can still see the PowerPoint screen. For some reason, this video would not embed.
You can pull it up on YouTube if you want and just share your screen. You have to unshare and then
here we go.
Then reshare and find the video. Or we could just do that.
Familiar or entirely different. It's all in.
You should, there's a button at the bottom for you to share sound and more. You might need to click that as well.
Okay, can y'all see the video now though?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to continue playing that.
Technologies. PowerPass enables power to flow directly to the wireless LED lamp module without a physical connection to power. With ModLight, pool lighting is easier, safer, and faster. No more water to drain out of the pool, no more power to shut down, no more excessive service costs. Simply twist to remove or insert the light in seconds. ModLight is the only pool light that makes changing a pool light as easy as, well, changing a light bulb. Pair ModLight with lighting controls from SR Smith to see all the features of this innovative lighting solution. Welcome to the era of wireless illumination. Learn more at mod-light.com.
Are we attaching those to the returns? Is that what we're doing?
So they fit into 1.5-inch returns, just like any of the nicheless lights that are on the market. They fit seamlessly into those.
So they're hydraulically driven?
No. So
No.
what you've got here, this picture now, you've got the power cord that's going to pull through just like a regular pool light cord.
Okay.
And this stem right here is where the power comes to the light. And then as you can see, there's a space here. So the light, as you saw in the video, actually didn't even have to touch the power coupler to create light. So all your light comes through here. This is a sonically welded fixture. This is the power port is also sonically welded. There's no mechanical parts in the actual power. It's just a coil inside there. So anytime that if anything's going to go wrong with a pool light, it's in the light itself. And so once you have this light installed, the only thing that you have to replace down the road is that actual lamp module. And you saw how easy that was to replace that in the video. You can do it underwater. You simply unscrew the old light and then you simply screw the new light in. So we introduced this a couple of years ago. We're still a lot of people that haven't seen it yet. When we show it, they're blown away, and especially when we do it in person, because they start holding the lamp module and holding it up to the power coupler and playing with it and seeing how close they can get to make it, or how far away they can be from the power coupler to make it light.
Oh.
Works great. And one of the best things about this is, that's all I was going to go to. I'm going to talk about in a minute is our fiber replacement program, where people are replacing old fiber optic systems with this new mod light. It makes it super easy. So there, again, 1.5 nicheless light. It fits into just a regular female return fitting. It slides right in there. The power coupler there, as you see it, is pretty close to real life size. It's less than 3/4 inch in diameter. So it'll fit in any kind of conduit behind there. And it's only about 3 inches. I don't even think it's quite 3 inches deep. I'd have to go back and double check how deep it is. So it'll fit in any kind of fitting, and it allows you to reduce down pretty much almost exactly right at the wall fitting. It does come with trim plates. It comes with 2 styles in the box. It comes with that round and the square that you see there, and each one has 5 colors. So you actually have 10 trim plates in the box. Now we do have a resource, modlight.com, that has a lot more resources there.
Very cool.
So our newest introduction in this line, it came out this year. It's called the Modlight Multi-White. So for people that have a darker finish, or maybe they're trying to match their landscape lighting, they maybe don't necessarily want the color lights. This gives them an opportunity to change their white light. And so they can go from a warm to more of a classic look into the cool LED look. And what's neat about these 2 lights is they're interchangeable. So if you have the mod light and you want the RGB, but you decide you want to change it to a different kind of white, it's a 10-second process of changing those light bulbs out. So completely interchangeable between the 2. So, and then this is the, mentioned the fiber to LED conversion. This is something that actually FiberStars came out with quite a while ago. They never really promoted it very well, and so we've promoted it pretty heavily since it came out. Since we've acquired them, people are still finding out about this and still learning that we have it. This is one of the most simple ways to change out old fiber optic in pool lights. It's just simply pulling out the old fiber, pulling in a new LED. You take off the old base that was already in the flower bed that is either covered in ants or has mulch all up in it. It doesn't work anymore most of the time. And so you just take off the old base, get rid of that light outside of that's in that base. You put a new base on that has a transformer in it, and you just wire your low voltage lights into it. You already have 110 power there, so you just wire that into the 110 side, and you're good to go. And within a couple of hours, you can have a completely relit pool that's going from a pool that basically almost had no light to a pool that is very well lit. And we have 2 different versions of these. We have the PT6001 and the PT6002. The 6001 has one 60-watt transformer inside. The 6002 has 2 60-watt transformers inside. So you can do it as a 2-zone system. So if you have a pool spa type of a situation, or tanning ledges weren't too popular when fiber optic was popular, but if you have some kind of a ledge or something like that, you could put one color on a tanning ledge and another color, or one zone on the tanning ledge, one zone on the pool, something like that. So
show of hands.
Yeah.
Show of hands. How many people have walked into a backyard and hunted through countless feet to meters thick of vegetation to try and find this obnoxious little box.
Yeah, my previous life was in the service side. That's where I come from, and I know exactly what you're talking about. I did it in Texas, so I know what fire ants are too, and I know what it's like to go down to one of these with fire ants.
I started in Houston, and fire ants aren't fun. We have them here in Florida too, but not like there was in Texas.
Yeah, they're nasty little critters. So I put my hand in one of these feet, one of the old Fiberstar systems, along with and been bit quite a bit. So so that's a system that's available. It's available with all of our different lights. We have the Trio light, which has been around for a long time. We have the Kilo light, which is the one that's pictured here, and then of course the new mod light that I've talked about. And the mod light's really the one that most people go to, because it's just the other thing that you run into with fiber optic replacements is a lot of guys, when they ran that fiber, that conduit, they stubbed it down to 3/4 inch right there at the wall fitting, and that mod light will fit right into that 3/4 inch conduit. So it makes it just for a super easy replacement. So this just kind of shows you some examples. On the left there was 2 mod lights on that pool, and you can see how well lit it is. The middle one or the Kilo lights, and then the one on the right, I'm not sure why, I can't remember why they showed the landscape lighting on that one, but I think they used the power tower to power the landscape lights is what they did on that. So one zone was the landscape lights and one was for the pool. And as you can see here, it comes with a remote control. So that's one of the other upgrades that the homeowner gets with the PT 6001 and 6002 is that they get a remote control to operate the lights. So, and then this is just to show our different, we have a line of transformers and controllers that people aren't aware, and a lot of people aren't aware of. I'll start the one on the right, the PoolX Power. That's a 60 or 100 watt transformer. It has an integrated power switch on the outside. And then on the inside, you have plenty of space to work in there. And one of the big things that we've done with our transformers is rather than wire nutting things together, we have a terminal bar in there so you can just push your wires in. So it makes it a lot easier when you're out there on the job site. The other is, you've heard a lot of these transformers, when you turn them on, there's that big chunk and then just that steady hum. Our transformers don't have any of that. You don't hear anything at all when you turn our transformers on. They're completely silent. And depending on where you have that transformer, if it's backed by the pool equipment, it's probably not that big of a deal. But if it's out closer to the pool, then you hear that hum, and the homeowners don't care for that. So the PoolX Power, that's basically, it's just a transformer. It has the integrated power switch on it. Then you go to the PoolX Plus, which is the same transformer as the Power. It just adds a remote control to it. And then the Plus 2 is a 2-zone system and comes with a remote control. And then the one on the left is the PoolX Premier. That has a remote control also. And as you can see on that color wheel there, you can put your finger anywhere on that color wheel and it'll change the color to one of those 49. There's 49 different colors in there. The bottom, you see the little gray to black bar. That is a dimming control. So you can actually dim the lights with the PoolX Premier. And it's a 70 watt light or 70 watt controller, so it'll fit most of our all of our lights, and you'll be able to fit quite a few of them on any of them. Any questions on anything with the lighting?
Hey Patrick, on the Premier, that's super cool, by the way, with all the colors. Is that an outdoor box there, or did I miss where that goes?
They're all outdoor boxes, yeah. So they're all outdoor rated. So and all the remotes are radio frequency controlled, so you don't need to have a line of sight. Obviously, the more line of sight you are, the better they work, but they can be inside and go through walls and so forth. Okay, so now I'm going to go to some of our least sexy things that we sell. But it's something that I think is important that people know about, because they've been out for a little while, and I think it's a great product. And these are our stainless steel anchors. When you have,
those are unsexy at all. I think those are very sexy, actually.
Yeah, I think they're great. If you've ever been out on a pool site and you could not get a rail out and you had to use a car jack, or you had to sawzall the thing and then do a core drill. You have several things that you have basically three things that affect corrosion. You have dissimilar metals is one. You have corrosive environment, which is two, which we definitely have a corrosive environment, whether it's chlorine or saltwater pools. And then the other is if you have any kind of electric current going into anything. When you add all three of those together, you're definitely going to get corrosion, and you're going to get that electrolysis that binds those rails to the anchors. So if we can get rid of one of those legs of the stool, you lose that corrosion. And by introducing a 304 grade stainless steel anchor and putting a 304 grade stainless steel rail, you lose that dissimilar metal part of the stool. So you really enhance your product, and you really lose that corrosion that you're going to have even with the bronze anchors. They obviously last a lot longer than the aluminum anchors ever did, but even these stainless steel anchors outperform the bronze anchors even. The other thing that you can't tell by a picture, but when you get your hands on one of these and hold them, you can literally feel the difference between the two. These are so much heavier. They're probably a good pound each. They're heavy anchors. They're heavy duty. Once they're put into the deck, they're not going anywhere. They're going to be there for the life of the pool. And then we have the channel sets. We have two channel sets. One's an 8-inch channel set. So if you want to make it easier when you're setting your anchors, you just screw the anchor to the channel set, and it holds it at an 8-inch on center for you, which is your deck mounted stair rails. Those are what use the 8-inch. The other one has multiple settings for ladders and for the different ladders, and for our games as well. So it's a 17.5-inch, 19 or 20-inch on center spacing for those. So those are nice. They're heavy duty. They're probably, quite honestly, a little over engineered. Our engineers, I think, went real heavy duty on these. But when you're working with concrete, you can probably almost never be too heavy duty, because concrete can tend to push things. And I don't think these channel sets will allow the anchors to be pushed too much when they're hooked up to these. So those are available. Just so you know, they're available individually. We also have box kits that are available that they come in usually around 6 anchors in a box. So you get a little bit of price break at that point. And then we have what we call the pack, which you get, depending on which anchor it is, you either get 20 or 24 anchors in that pack. And that should give you about a 10% savings. And then the other nice thing about these is when you look at it, you think, okay, well, that's great, but if it costs me double for an anchor, I don't know if I'm interested. The nice thing is these are only about $1.50 bit more than the bronze anchors. So there's not a lot of difference in cost. And if you're talking most pools at most maybe have 4 anchors, you're only talking, less than $10 additional cost to adding these rails to a pool. So this is something new for SR Smith. We acquired, it's been about 2 years ago now, a company out of California called T-Stars, and they make thermal covers. And so anybody doing any kind of a commercial job or even a residential these work for, these actually help the facility or homeowner save money. They lay on top of the water. They're not a safety cover by any stretch of the imagination. They're much higher quality than what you see like there with the solar bubble covers. There's an actual R factor to them. You can get within about 18 to 24 months, the facility that puts one of these on will actually have their investment paid back, because of the energy savings. You have energy savings, you have water savings, you have chemical savings. So you factor all those things together, and the facilities literally 18 to 24 months have paid for their cover. So you see a lot of these actually in Florida, which is interesting. You would think with the heat there that you wouldn't need a thermal cover, but with the evaporation, that's where that helps down there. You see them go into a lot of indoor facilities, and then you see them out west. This company was based in Oakland, and so that's where most of their business was done. The owner never really tried to expand too far out of the west. So now that we have the company, we're definitely going after it and trying to get more of these sold out there into the marketplace. we have a lot of resources for these. One of the things that's coming is we'll have the ability. So if you're interested in one of these and you want to talk to the facility about it and you want to share with them how much money they can save, we're going to have some things that you'll be able to get their kilowatt hour rate, their average temperature, things like that. And we'll be able to do a calculation and say, this is about how much you're going to save every year on your energy bills by having a thermal cover. So that's something that should be coming very shortly.
And the rollers are the rollers are yours as well, correct?
Yeah, the rollers are ours as well. We have, you can see in the picture here, it's a 3 reel roller. We have single reel rollers. And then the picture on the right bottom, that's what we call the deployer and the winder. So they're heavy when you're trying to pull them out across the pool. They can be heavy, but lifeguards can do it. But some people just want to make it easier, and so they buy the winder and the deployer, and the rope pulls it out, and then when they're done, they can pull it back.
One of the rollers are always kind of, I mean, I've not used this one obviously, but rollers are always kind of, I don't want to say cumbersome, but they don't always work the way you think they should. It's not always user friendly, I guess. There's bunching and all kinds of good stuff. So is there any modifications to this roller that would be different than the others that I've encountered out in the field where it's a smoother process? I mean, I like the idea of the rope pulling it in, but can you talk on that a little?
There is something that goes on the end that you use to wind it, and I haven't experienced it yet myself, Rudy, so I can't.
Okay. No, fair enough.
Knowledge, but
I just know that
learning about them is these actually wind up very nicely.
We have a lot of folks. One of the aquatics groups is actually, we shared this there as well with the aquatics directors and managers. And I know these rollers can be an issue. So that might be something that some of those folks are looking at or might want to have an opportunity to check out. I guess they can contact you afterwards and find out where one is, I'm sure, to play with. But
yes, and we have a lot of information on our website about these as well. So.
Awesome.
And then they're all custom. We have a dedicated resource internally that helps us with these. He does all the quotes, and he's great on answering a lot of the questions. He's been working with the company for 2 years.
Okay.
The funny story behind this one, when we've been trying to acquire this company for a while, and the owner never really had any interest in selling his business. And he's based in Oakland, California, and what happened is the city council rezoned his property to where his building could be a grow house, and he called us the next day.
So we went from covers to pot. It's awesome.
I think he sold the building and made a very nice profit on the building.
Nice. Well, there you go.
He just skyrocketed overnight. And that is it. Obviously, there's a lot more stuff that SR Smith has to offer, but those were the things that I thought I would highlight with this group. And we will be at the national show this year, from what I understand. Hopefully, a lot of other people will be too. So, any other questions?
Great job, Patrick.
Thank you.
Yeah, fantastic job. Do you know where the international show is this year? I've lost track.
It's in Dallas.
Dallas. Okay. Well, that's
Dallas
different.
Convention Center.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. That's
Yeah.
this is the first.
A little
So
bit of a-
definitely have to check that out. You guys will be there, and remember, everybody, like I said about the padding under the carpet, it's a good place to go and take a look. And don't forget, the core products too. SR Smith has some tremendous rail goods, and I guess that's what y'all were first famous for, rail goods.
Diving boards.
Boards.
Diving boards was what we did first. If you YouTube it, there's a video from the 1950s that somebody found.
Oh wow!
It was actually, it wasn't an SR Smith produced video. It was some kind of like newsreel type video that talked about
I just remember back in the early 90s, part of my training was looking at cross sections of boards and identifying the boards based off of the way the wood ran through the product. So, but yeah, fantastic products. Been along a long time. Rail goods. You still have boards? You're still doing boards, right? Yeah. So and then
you'd be surprised how many we sell. We sell a lot of them still.
Well, fantastic. Jeff, did you have any other questions for Patrick?
I don't.
Okay.
I'm all tapped out.
So cool. All right. Well, Patrick, definitely thank you for coming on with us. I appreciate it, and sharing the information with everybody. It's definitely good stuff. Did you have anything? I mean, you know what? There's a lot of other companies, and I've offered this question to other folks before. There are other companies that make similar products, and I should buy from SR Smith because.
Yeah, I think one of the things is, for one, we've been around for a long time and we know what we're doing. 1932, a lot of people don't realize it's how old of a company we are. One of the, I think, top things is our concern for safety and the things that we put in out there for safety, from the Peace of Mind program to the Consumer Product Safety Commission. Every slide we sell has been tested and verified that it meets all the safety standards. That includes the backyards, the BYOS type slides and the river runs, the landscape slides. Those have all gone through the Consumer Product Safety Commission testing. We want to make sure that the builders and the service guys that we're partnering with, that they're taken care of liability wise, and it's very important to SR Smith. So we do a lot to make sure that the homeowner is going to be safe, that the builder and the retailer and the service guy are all going to be safe and taken care of.
That is fantastic. Well, definitely thank you for bringing SR Smith to our virtual trade show, our second annual virtual trade show.